Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Entrepreneur's Guide to Retirement podcast. And I am your host, Halima. And guys, today I'm very excited because I feel like what we're about to discuss is something I can relate to, something you can relate to, and it's something a lot of 9 to 5ers, a lot of entrepreneurs, as a young person, you can relate to this genuinely. I don't think there's any way we would discuss emergency funds that anybody will not be able to relate to. Some of us we have black tax. Some of us we a lot of things happen in between right life, and so yeah, emergency can happen to literally anybody at any point in time. So today, guys, I will be discussing that with our very own storyteller, Winner. Winner is a storyteller. She's a creative all round. Newscasting, she's there. Podcast production, she's there. Copywriting, she's there. Creative directing, she's there. Just think storytelling, just think creativity, and Winner is there. So please welcome my guest for today, Winner, on the podcast.
Hi, Halima. You look
Hi,
so
Winner.
beautiful.
You too. Can I steal your earrings after?
If you pay me the money that
I
I
say
use.
steal now.
No, no. We don't steal over here. Well, technically, it was a steal because it was not as expensive as I thought it
Oh,
would be.
really? So maybe I'm just gonna steal from the stealer.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
It's so lovely to have you here today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I mean, I'm sure that, this is something very relatable for you,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
In recent time, have you had any emergency that needed you to like withdraw cash ASAP?
Recently in my life, I think emergencies happen almost every day.
Every day is an emergency.
Because at this point, well, emergency, I would say just daily stuff like when okay, recently I don't have a thing in okay, so an emergency recently that happened was having to leave home. And it was an emergency because I did not plan it. Because when you've sorted yourself for NYSC, you're going to be in Lagos and everything. And suddenly,
Posting.
I got posted to Lagos,
Oh,
but
really?
I thought so. It was a very funny story. There's this company that I had been eyeing because of my friend was working there, and I felt working there would be good because it looked good on camera. Only for me to find out, because on their bio they wrote Lekki. Only for me to find out this place is like Shongotedo or something.
Oh shit.
So not only did I have to decline that, the only other place that I now got a job was at Ikoyi. So I'm just like, I now have to leave home because I do not stay close to Ikoyi. The transportation was a lot. So now I have to get a place or find a place to stay, maybe share with someone or something.
Yeah.
That was an emergency that had to be sorted. And unfortunately, my parents are not the kind of parents that will say, oh, my dad will probably pay for a place for me or something. So that was that was an emergency.
Real. My
That was an
sister.
emergency
Very
for me, and I
real.
had to use money that I had kept, thankfully, to sort myself. And by God's grace, I've been doing well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the most recent one.
Yeah, I think emergencies really happen literally every day at this point. Like you can be going on the road and then somebody just drags your phone. And that's an emergency already. Like
Exactly.
you cannot live without a phone, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody just hits you. There was a day I went for an event and I was the content creator for that event. And then you know how people are at events this year, everybody has their camera out. Everybody wants to film content. And like no offense, but like when they hire people for a job, let them do their job. And then
Yeah.
somebody was trying to like push me and shoot. So I was like this, like this, like this. And the next thing I knew it, someone just
Oh my
hit
God.
my phone.
Wow.
Like the rate at which I just to hold the phone.
Oh my
Because
God.
if that goes down, that is the end.
Yeah.
That's an emergency, right? So emergencies can literally happen at any point in time. And this is us even talking about emergencies that are still, curbable, right? There are some that I lost someone very recently and
Sorry about
like thank you very much. And she was sick for like just very few days, but that very few days, it drained pockets,
Yeah.
right? Things that you didn't plan. Like somebody that was fine yesterday and tomorrow they are like, oh, my stomach is paining me. And you go to the doctor and they say, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that's happening to them. And like
I can. Oh
everything
my
that you've
god.
saved.
I can relate so much because my aunt passed in May, and it was
My
after
aunt as
she
well, actually.
passed that I found out from my mom that they spent 10 million naira taking
Whoa.
care of her.
Whoa.
And this woman was just sick for, she was first of all sick for about a week, then she was discharged. Then, before you know, she fell into coma. They took her back there. She woke up, they were taking care of her. Then she went back home, and at home, she passed. But
Wow.
after the whole thing, my mom told me that in a moment of just crying and everything, she's like, we spent 10 million. In that moment, I was crying, but I'm like, wait,
What?
hold up. Wait, calm down. 10 what? I'm
How?
like, I'm like, where did the money come out from? 10 million naira. And I was just like, this is why it is. Because who would have ever thought
Yeah.
like somebody would just fall sick? Even, and the thing about us, I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing or if it's just human beings in general, but we never plan for sickness. We never plan for death.
Yeah.
We never plan for all these things because we always cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus.
Oh my
And we
God, I was
don't-
going to say that.
and,
I was going to say
and
that.
we don't think it is necessary to plan for bad things that
Yes.
might happen because these are inevitable. Everybody will die.
Yeah.
You just don't know when it will happen. And
Yeah.
this woman was old, but even as she was old, nobody will have it at the back of their mind that we should probably save or plan towards her hospital bills.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe in God giving us good health and even at old age, people being okay. But these things still need to be planned for.
Yeah.
And so yeah, when my mom told me 10 million, I was shocked. I mean, so I can relate to what you just
Yeah.
said.
And I just remembered a tweet where somebody said that somebody works, I can't remember what they said their job was, right? And then he was like, oh, you don't have a fire extinguisher. And they were like, ah, God forbid. I was
Oh my
like,
god.
so if fire happens, uncle,
What will you do?
what will you do? Ah, I beg, don't be bringing that mentality here.
No,
Like you
sorry.
actually have to plan. You have to plan for it. And it's the same thing with retirement as well, right? Which is, the whole point of this conversation where, people have to plan for you. You have to like it's not enough that you work and you take care of yourself now. It's not enough because anything can happen. Even the people who, they spend so much on themselves and then they look after themselves. Like things can happen to anybody. So it's very important that you have an emergency fund. Now, that brings me to my actual first question. Like, what do you think an emergency fund really means?
Okay, so just as the name implies, an emergency fund is simply money that you keep aside for emergency situations. Maybe a job loss or car repairs. Somehow something happens to your income and you need to pay rent. Those are the kind of things emergency funds are for. So it's just basically money that you keep aside for unplanned
Yeah.
situation, but unplanned in the sense that they are necessary.
Yeah.
So unplanned is not just spontaneity. I'm not saying your friend randomly comes and says you guys should go to Seychelles and then you have emergency fund and you say, okay, I have kept it for this reason. No, emergency fund is for actual emergencies. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a problem that a lot of people struggle with, I myself even struggle with this, is how to separate general savings from emergency savings, right? Because, like, first off, how much am I even making? They will say do investments, you'll be there. They will say do savings, you'll be there. Do emergency savings, we are there. Splurge on yourself, you are there. How do you separate all of these things, right? Like, what would you say would be the right path to follow through when it comes to that?
Okay, so first of all, you must learn how to differentiate emergency funds from savings or general savings. Emergency funds, like I already explained, are those amount of money that you keep aside for emergency situations. But you save, your general savings are for a specific goal. I'm currently
Yeah.
saving for a new phone. That is a general
General
saving.
saving.
If you're saving for a wig, you're saving for a vacation, you're saving for a house. People, general savings are, you know, they have what they are meant for.
Yeah.
While emergency funds are for emergency situations.
Situations.
So that's the first step, to know the difference.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be saying you are saving. Because I think that because of how we grew up in Nigeria, you just grew up, your mom will buy colo for you. You should say you should save from January till December. And that's the only type of saving that people know.
Yeah.
So everybody's just opening their now we have digital places where you can keep your money. So everybody's just opening one account or the other. They're just putting money. They have no reason,
Yeah.
no specific reason, money that they can invest. They just put the money and they're just like, they don't have a wig they want to buy. They don't have a house they want to maybe pay for mortgage. They don't have any. They don't even know that the money they are saving could be used for an emergency, right? They are just putting it there. So now that you've been able to differentiate emergency and general savings, the question you will now ask yourself is, how can I keep up with this? How can I keep up with this? So I would say that the reason why a lot of people do not go through, there are many reasons. Number one, you actually mentioned it now, is you think your income is not enough to be able to do it. I'm a freelancer and a 9 to 5 worker. Sometimes by the end of the month, by the time I gather, how first of all, what am I even gathering? Because in the midst of the month, as you're getting paid from different jobs, you are
You're
spending.
spending.
And by the time you gather, you're just like, what am I saving from here? What am I doing? And saving now becomes, it now looks like something that is such a big adjustment. But personally, one thing I've been working on, and I would say has been a very big reason why I've not been so serious with my savings, is discipline. So um just beyond just saying, oh, knowing how to save, knowing the difference between savings, um and all of that, knowing, sorry, I lost my train
Sorry, I
of
think I
thought.
distracted you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry. Let me start again. No, let me go.
Just pick up.
So, if you, well, by the time you know the difference between the two, and now, so when it comes to discipline, that's where I stopped. Sorry. When it comes to discipline, it's about sticking to a budget and keeping it. Because if you can't stick to a budget, you will touch your savings.
Sure.
You will touch it. So, for instance, you earn 200K a month. When you earn 200K a month, first of all, that's already so small. Because on Twitter, I'm always saying your savings will save you.
It's not gonna save you, my dear.
Your savings will save you. I'm not going to save, because at the end of the day, my savings will come back and save me. But if you decide to save maybe 20K from that 200K every month, emergency funds, maybe 10% for emergency funds every month, and you now decide that you spend only 50K on food. So before, if you used to buy from Uncle Stan's, you shift to the place, maybe Value Munch. I'm speaking from experience, God.
My God.
Or you shift, if you used to buy Burger Place or Burger King, you shift to Chicken Republic. Or if you like it and you can handle it, you stick to street food. Or you just cook at home. So if you're able to stick to that 50K, I don't see any reason why you would touch the 20K that you've kept. Do you understand? So it's just about understanding your priorities and knowing that, and that's why having a why is very important. Because if you are just putting money somewhere, no reason. If I, like now, I'm saving for a phone, and if so, no matter what comes up, me, I know I want to buy a phone at the end of this month. So no
Nothing is going
matter,
to make you
nothing
touch
is
it.
going to make me touch that money, because
Yeah.
In fact, I've even spoken to the guy I'm going to buy it from. So anything that comes up, even if it seems like something I must use money for now, all I'm thinking of is by the end of I've even given myself a date, October 2nd. I'm getting that phone. And so if you have a why behind your savings and you're not just saving for saving's sake, it would help. And also being able to let your future be louder than the now. So a lot of people allow their present circumstances speak louder to them than what they can have in the future. And so they are thinking, because right now I have, and I think even me myself, this is one of my biggest struggles. Right now, what are things I need? I need to get an apartment. I need to, in the future, I need to get an apartment. Right now, I'm still sharing a space with some ladies, but in the future, I want to live on my own in a very nice, not even manageable, non-manageable. I want to be able to pay for my rent. I want to be able to get a car so that life can be more comfortable in this Lagos. I want to, right now, I'm looking at my thing and I'm like, Omo, right now I probably need a better tripod for my content creation. I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. Because everything is always evolving. So you're always thinking, there's always that cost.
There's always a need
to pay for. There's always something.
Yes.
But when you let your future speak louder to you than what is happening now, I'm not disputing the fact that sometimes in the now, for instance, that's why that's the point of emergency funds.
Yeah.
Because and you must learn to separate them. So you can't keep your wig money and your emergency money in the same place.
I was actually going to ask you that question now, right? So, do you think that your emergency fund should be liquid, or should it be something that is like maybe you put it in like in high yield investment? Because because I think the major problem is that a lot of times when people save for emergency, they like you can say, oh, it's the same account, but then you have different bits of it. So, say for instance, you have a bank that allows you to do like two different accounts, two different savings accounts. So one will now be your main account. The other one, you now put in emergency fund. You will not know. One day you just mistakenly go and do kwa, 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 kwa. You've sent money from the emergency fund, and that way you're touching the money still, right? So that was actually going to be my final question to you. Yeah, so that's
About that, your emergency fund should be very much liquid. It should not be. Some people put their emergency fund into investments, and I'm just like, what happens if there's a fire in your house and you have to replace some things? How many years is it going to take you to get your yield from that investment in order to do what you need to do? So, when it comes to investments, I'm sorry, emergency funds, you need to make sure they are very accessible. I would usually never advise someone to put it in all those apps that if you say you want to keep money for 3 months, they will actually not let you touch it. That's where you keep savings. Where maybe you are saving for a
goal,
and you know that thing is happening. Let's say you are saving for a wig. I keep using wig because I feel like that's the most relatable thing right now. Let's say you're saving for a wig or for some clothes or a vacation, and you know that vacation is happening in 3 months, and you are starting now. You can decide that you want to lock it so that you don't touch it. But when you are doing emergency, if you have a bank that you don't really use for daily transactions, put it there. If you have one of these apps, but they have a plan that will not lock your money, and then you can still access it at highest. Maybe they'll just remove a small percentage if you need it urgently. So make sure that your emergency fund is always accessible, easily accessible.
I agree with that. And I mean, as a 9 to 5 babe, anything can happen to you at any time.
Anytime.
So you have to stay liquid.
Stay liquid.
You have to stay liquid,
Stay
guys.
liquid, stay liquid.
I completely agree with you. So to close the episode, right? As someone who is a 9 to 5 girly and a freelancer, and you have all these plenty savings that you are expected to do, right? You're excelling in that already. It's showing in your
Am
body.
I?
What's one advice that you give to, another person that would love to, get their life to reach a particular standard? Yeah.
Okay. This advice, I'm not going to take credit for it, to be very honest, because I heard it from um, my pastor.
Okay.
She said, don't focus on cash. What's the English? Don't focus on cash at hand.
Okay.
Focus on cash inflow.
Hmm.
So, inflow and outflow. So, instead of focusing on, I have 200K now, how do I do that? That's very important. But if you want to multiply your income and save and still be able to save enough and in a way that it will be able to tell in your future that because some people are making bastard money and you will never notice. You will
Yeah.
not see it because they overspend and they cannot manage their finances.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in Nigeria, a lot of young Nigerians are going through that.
Yeah.
So instead of focusing on the money you have in your hand and how you want to manage it, focus on how
And
on
you
your
can make
cash
more
inflow.
money.
At the moment, and I'm not saying get mixed in hustle culture and overwork yourself, but if you know that let's say you're a copywriter, and at the moment you make 30K per work. I don't think there's any copywriter that makes. I don't know, but let's say you make 30K per work for some jobs. You make 50K for some jobs. What can you do better that
To
would
help
make
you
your
earn
money
more.
become higher? See, me, I don't believe in budget so that your money will not this thing. Budget, save, save, save. I believe in make more money because to me, financial freedom is being able to afford what you want. Like,
Sure.
I'm not really up for don't buy this thing now that you need it. Don't buy. I feel
There's not
like
even anything like delayed gratification again.
yes, like
Because
just
before you delay that gratification, you don't cost.
exactly.
Your
So
money
if
no
you
fit buy
want a
am.
wig, to me financial freedom is not you knowing that you should not buy a wig, even though that's important. I feel like it's just about being able to make enough money to actually buy that thing that you want. So focus on that, and then when you want to save very well, just have discipline.
Yeah.
The more you have money, the more the cash inflow, the better you are able to manage some things. But no matter the cash inflow, if you don't have discipline, you will be
You will not be able
bankrupt.
to do it. Yeah.
So it's all about understanding your cash inflow and outflow. So manage your cash inflow. Make sure that you are making more and more money. Don't be stagnant on 200K per month. Try to increase it, but don't overwork yourself. And also manage the
Yeah.
outflow.
All
That's
right.
it.
Thank you. And yes, what she said. Yeah, I completely agree. Because I mean, you have to make sure that the money keeps coming in, bro. It's not how you want to do it. The money gotta keep coming in. Yeah. So, and I mean, we've come to the end of this episode. Such an interesting conversation. And I think two things that I will be taking out of this is that one, make more money. Don't focus on cash at hand. Cash inflow. Not even outflow. So don't let it be flowing out too much. Let it be flowing in. It's very, very important. And for your emergency funds, always make sure that, you have it set aside. Don't just imagine it in your head that, oh, I have money somewhere. Actually putting, energy into saying, oh, I'm going to save money for emergency, right? Because emergency can happen anytime, any day to anybody. So yeah, stay guided. Stay guided. Yeah, so guys, we've come to the end of the episode and I really enjoyed my conversation with you, Winner.
Thank
Please
you.
what are you going to tell them?
Sorry. Subscribe to the channel, like, follow. They follow Instagram. Okay.
everything.
Follow,
Subscribe.
comment, do all you need to do. Turn on the post notifications.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Guys, you heard it from her. I didn't even say that. Like, she said it. So
Yeah.
just do what she said, right? Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next episode.